instruments. I can't say that I know. But either way, whether it's synthetic or not, it doesn't mean that it was instantly created with a snap of a finger or a push of a button. It's somebody who knows how to make music that did that, right?
That's right.
Music is definitely a part of our lives, and if we ever didn't have it in our schools, and we're threatened with that all the time, somebody who thinks they know better in government decides, we don't need that thing, music. What do we need that for?
Yeah.
That's why when I read about Vincent James, I said, gosh, let's have him on the show. He has a book called 88 Plus Ways Music Can Change Your Life. If you're looking at the streaming video, I was a little bit frustrated because I couldn't get the thing to work, but I think it's working now, so you should be able to see it.
See his picture?
It's not his picture. It's a picture of the cover of the book. And on Amazon, it's described this way. 88 Plus Ways is filled with over 150 inspirational stories and quotes from musicians, music educators, and music lovers from all over the world. Included are a number of stories from Grammy-winning and platinum-selling artists and composers, and we'll let Vincent tell you the rest. The second annual Teach Music America Week is, starting today, right? And runs through March 27th. Keepmusicalive.org is the website. We'll tell you that again.
And March is Music in Our Schools month, so that's so cool.
And I already off the air, I guess a week or so ago, I spoke with Vincent, and I told him that your brother just recently retired from being a music teacher. How long was he a
35
teacher?
years.
35 years. Vincent James, good morning, Vincent. How are you?
Oh, good morning, Larry and Robin. Great to be here with you.
And where are you located? I can't remember.
I am up in the Northeast, the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
Is it raining, snowing there?
It did some snowing last night and some big frost in the windows this morning, and we're still hovering around freezing, so we've got the chill on.
We have a place called Florida. Have you ever heard of it?
Florida is like my second home, Larry. I love it down there. We spent a lot of time down with my parents for a bit down in the
is that right?
Yeah.
Now, you're a music teacher, right, Vince?
Yes.
And what do you teach, in public schools, or do you have your own music school?
I teach privately piano and guitar.
Oh, okay. So you have your own little school, or you're part of somebody else's school?
No, just my own little private practice, so to speak. It's one of the many things that I do. It's not something I do full time. I'm mostly involved in promoting the mission that we're doing, but the teaching music is something I do on the side, so to speak.
So in writing the book, did you confirm for yourself something you already knew about how music affects our life? Because let's say you were arguing with somebody who wanted to cut music programs, and they've got all their facts and figures that, look, we only have this much money, we have to spend it this way, and we don't need music, we don't need PE, we don't need some of the art programs, they like to cut those things too. What would be your argument? What would you tell them is the reason why it's a bad idea?
Well, I like how you led into that question, because absolutely, the process of doing this book and reaching out and getting all these amazing stories really opened my eyes so much more than I already knew about how important music was and all the reasons why. And the argument I would make is that when children have music and art as part of their regular education growing up, it actually helps develop their minds to do better in all the other subjects that the schools and government are so interested in preserving, the math, the science, the English. I mean, the research has shown time and time again how that music education helps the children in those subjects. So by cutting music, they're actually hurting the areas they're trying to protect.
And do they get that? Is that a hard sell for them? Do they not connect the dots?
I think it's a hard sell to the bean counters, but I think we're slowly making some progress. There's some efforts on Capitol Hill to change the STEM initiative, science, technology, engineering, and math, and putting an A in the middle and calling it STEAM.
Oh, I like that.
There's definitely some inroads being made, but I think it's a long battle ahead.
Yeah, it is crazy that they can spend money on things like, I don't know, like golf tournaments.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, golf is fun, but come on.
No, but I mean for themselves. But when we talk about for the students, though, like in your case, your students are it's a private school, so their parents or somebody along the way has decided this is important. Let's pay the money and make this part of their lives.
That's right.
So okay, I'm on your side, but I'm going to try to be the devil's. I'm going to try to be the devil, not the devil's advocate. I'm going to try to be the bad guy here.
All righty.
Let me see what kind of argument could I have. Okay, the music is there for the kids. everywhere. They don't need to learn how to make it in order for it to affect their lives. So they can turn on their radio and get music for free. They can turn on their video game and get music for free. Watch a movie, music is in there. Why do they need to learn it?
Because if they don't learn how to create music on their own, whether it's singing in a chorus class or starting with a recorder in a music class, then they're not actually developing the areas of the brain that are going to benefit them in all the subjects that you're trying to keep.
Because music uses math, and I just don't understand why people don't get that. And these students that take music can do math in their head because they have to transpose. Larry does that all the time.
That's right. That's right. I mean, some of the world's most amazing scientists, doctors, inventors were musicians, and they credit their music training for helping them have the brain, playing a large part in what they were able to develop throughout their career.
In the people who you interviewed for the book, I'm wondering if anybody had this point of view, because what you and Robin are saying, I'm sure, is absolutely true. But I have a different spin on this as to why music is important, the making of music. I think the making of art in general, whether it's dance, music, paintings, anything creative, I think that we as humans, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, but it's probably true for most people, have a need to express ourselves, especially when we're 16, 17. We have this absolute need to say, this is who I am,
Right.
And if music seems to be the way God wanted you to express yourself, then how frustrating is it that you don't have that tool, And so that's more of a psychological reason to support the arts and music specifically. And so my question is, did any of the 150 people have that sort of thing to say?
Oh, absolutely. There was a number of adolescents that are in the book. Some of them are in their late teens now and early 20s, where they credit music for effectively saving their life because they had that outlet.
Yeah.
I mean, they had that little spark of something, whether it was something in school or something outside of school, that introduced them to music and creating music. And it was that experience of being able to do that and express yourselves, as you put it, that really helped them identify with who they really were and kind of sheltered them in a bit from all the craziness that was going on in their life, whether it was family difficulties or school difficulties or whatever.
Yeah. Do you know one of the things that is interesting about music, too, is that people view music as what they hear on the radio. And music is so much more than that. If you turn on the radio, you're not going to hear the kind of music you'll hear in the band shell when it's Memorial Day and the local brass band shows up. But that's just as viable. You're not going to hear the music like the kind Robin and I make. Robin plays the mandolin, I play accordion. We're going to do an Irish show at Daytona State College on Wednesday, because that music teacher wants that Irish music, and you're not going to hear it on the radio. Mm-hmm. So it's another way to introduce culture, I think, as well.
Music is absolutely a huge part of the culture of who we are, as humans, as Americans, wherever we're from, wherever we identify with. And if we're not able to express that and to experience that, if we're not musicians ourselves, to have the opportunity, like where you're going this week, for people to experience that music, we're just really not opening our eyes and our hearts and our souls to what we're truly capable of.
And playing together encourages camaraderie, because you've got students that might not be hanging out with each other in their neighborhood or something. It brings neighborhoods together, and if you don't play the right notes like everybody else is playing, you stand out. But this develops a sense of getting together and supporting each other for the common cause.
That's right. I mean, the social skills you develop by participating in music activities together, the team building, the discipline, everything coming together helps to create a well-rounded education for children and young adults that helps them for the rest of their life, regardless of what they're doing.
What was your story? I would like to hear your story. I'm looking on Amazon. I don't know how come I'm on a French site. I don't know. Everything is in French except for your book, so I can scroll through the stuff, the table of contents. So tell me your story. Did you start music when you were very young? What instrument did you start with?
Well, when I was a child, I really was drawn to the radio in the early 70s, and I wanted to play music in elementary school, and the first thing I told my parents was I wanted to play the guitar, and they said, no, pick something else. So I said, how about the drums? They're like, nah, way too loud. Pick something else. I'm like, oh, all right, how about the trombone? And they said, sold. I started on that in 4th grade, and then about 6th grade, my mom brought a piano into the house because she had always wanted to play the piano. As a child, I never had the opportunity, so she got a piano and started taking piano lessons, and I was like drawn like to the piano like a fly to honey. I'm like, what is this? And I started just, plunking around on the keys, and, a few minutes later, it's Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'm like, when can I take lessons?
Yeah, really? Oh, I know what that must have been like. There's a video out by Ed Sheeran. Do you know Ed Sheeran, the new recording artist? He's redheaded guy?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's very popular.
Okay, there's a video out that I just saw it the other day, and I think it's showing him when he was a baby, and then a young child, and then getting older.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the name of the song, but it's showing him like when he's a very young child sitting at a piano for the first time, and that must have been what that was like for you.
Yes, and I'll have to look up that video. I'd love to see and hear about experiences like that, because I totally identify with it.
And the music is so versatile, too, because no matter what it is, from the symphony or to rap and everywhere in between, there's something out there for everybody.
That's right. There's so many different styles of music that we all can connect with.
Yeah. Do you know what happened for me? For me, it was similar to you. It was all about the music when I was much younger. I couldn't care less about whatever fame might happen from music. I couldn't care less about the girls that might happen from music at that age. And then later on, because of a group called the Beatles, I started
all out there, right?
I started thinking, oh my goodness, this is cool. I could take this thing I love and maybe get girls, But but that's come full circle. So now I'm 61. So at this point, it's really all about the music again, because girls don't want to be near me anymore. So.
Yeah, we definitely, evolve. Our love of music evolves over our lifetime into different areas, and I think we really start to appreciate it as we get a little older, and I'm definitely finding that as well.
Your book is going to make an important impact, and it already has. By the way, this is a co-author, and identify the co-author, please.
So the co-author is my lovely wife, Joanne Pierdomenico, who has joined me on this journey for Keep Music Alive.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Let me take a little break, and we will be right back. Vincent James is our guest. His book is called 88 Plus Ways Music Can Change Your Life. Obviously, the number 88 because of the keys on the piano. We will take a little break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunny to partly cloudy today, brisk and cooler with a high of 63 to 66. Clear and moonlit tonight, also chilly with a low of 37 to 50. Tomorrow will turn warmer, mostly sunny with a high of 71 to 75. Looks beautiful Wednesday, sunshine and high of 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Most couples get ring tattoos after the wedding ceremony, not for the engagement, which is smart considering 25% of all engaged couples, they never make it to the altar. Taking breaks help boost our mood and makes us more creative and productive. When a woman feels threatened, she tends to touch the front of her neck or play with her necklace because it's an area that's physically vulnerable. For men, their towel is fidgeting with their tie.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Easter's on the way, and now is the time to order your honey-baked ham with all the fixins. Maybe an 8-pound half ham plus 3 heat-and-serve sides and a delicious pie for just $79.99. Maybe you prefer turkey. Come in or call 861-0011 to mix and match your main course, sides, and, of course, dessert. Honey-baked ham and cafe is located at 2709 Southwest 27th Avenue in Ocala, behind Best Buy. You enjoy the day by allowing honey-baked ham to do the work, and you take the credit. That number again, 861-0011. This is the Ed Sheeran song. Let me see. Oh, it's called Photograph. It's called Photograph.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard.
Vincent James is on the phone, and the video that goes with this one. This is the one I was telling Vincent about. It shows like a baby right now, a baby crawling, a baby standing up for the first time, and I believe that baby is Ed Sheeran, because Ed Sheeran isn't so old that, like with me, old movies would would look like old movies, but these look like pretty nice looking videos, actually. And if you were a child in the 70s, then it's probably similar for you, though, although maybe not quite. I don't know how old Ed Sheeran is, but so let me ask you about the book. How's the book doing?
It's doing very well. I mean, it was a big process for us learning how to put the book together and getting all these different inputs and stories. And now we're learning how to reach out and get the book out there and publicize the book, which is a whole other mindset that's new for us. But it's doing well, and we're trying to get the stories in as many people's hands as possible, because we really feel that when they read the stories is when they'll really connect with why music is so important, and will help try to turn the tide.
Yeah.
And you have a variety of artists that have contributed to it, not just musicians, but celebrities from television and film.
Yes, we're very fortunate and so happy that so many were willing to donate a story. We have people like Simon Kirke, the drummer from Bad Company and Free, to Vanessa Carlton, who had a number of hits just a few years back. Some great songwriters, Saida Garrett, who wrote Man in the Mirror for Michael Jackson, and many other hits he's written. Billy Steinberg, who wrote Like a Virgin for Madonna, and many other hits that he's written. Just composers for movies and soundtracks, for like Halloween and Friday the 13th. It's just all these different types of music that have come together in these stories. They relay different experiences they've had of how music touched them and why.
Yeah. Do you know, there was a story in the book, and I found this while I was scrolling through the Amazon preview thing, whatever they give you there. And it reminded me of something, and I want you to tell this story. This is somebody's playing a guitar for somebody who's sick and in bed and elderly, I think. So right. Robin and I had a gig one time, and the request was, when you come here, would you let was it Grandpa play the accordion? My grandpa played the accordion when he was younger. Would you allow him to play your accordion? Mm-hmm. So I said, I'll do better than that. I'll bring a second accordion. He can play along. Mm-hmm.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, let me tell you something, Vincent. Well, first of all, I'm big, okay? So my straps on my accordion are like way big, okay? Yeah. Right. And this guy was a little frail guy, and he had to be 90, you think, Robin?
Yeah, I would think
he was up there, and he was sitting in the chair. It was a restaurant. They paid us to play for them in a restaurant. Okay, so of course they pick up this second accordion, and they strap it on him. They have to hold it from the back so it doesn't fall off of him.
Right.
The guy lit up. Bottom line is the guy, and he didn't lose it. I mean, he still knew what to do.
Yeah.
And he lit up. Whatever happened internally for him, he had been sitting there just to give you a little background while the rest of the party was going on, and he was kind of enjoying the party, but he was sort of looking like he felt left out. And I said to Robin, I bet you that's the guy they want to play the accordion. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, we were right. We nailed it. But he changed. Everything changed, and the whole family, because of their love. Look at Grandpa's playing. We always heard he could do this, and there he is doing it. Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry, Larry. That's a beautiful story, and you have to submit that for Volume 2, please.
Oh, I would love to. Well, this story that I was reading here, it says, if I can just read part of it, 5 to 6 songs in, she began to sing along. 8 to 10 songs in, she asked for some food. An hour after that, she asked for seconds. She began telling stories of how she and Bruce met. Terry was funny. We spent 6 precious, unexpected hours, all of us singing, laughing, and crying together. Terry died later that week. I still remain in awe of the incredible experience we all shared that day and still think about her often. I almost couldn't finish reading that. I almost cried myself. That is beautiful. That is so awesome. That's why we need to keep music alive.
Yes, yeah. This is a story of an artist who didn't know the family, and the wife was dying of cancer. She was actually, I think, only in her 30s, maybe 40s at most. And she had been a fan of Adam Ezra and his band and his music. And a mutual acquaintance hooked up Adam and called him and said, could you maybe give Terry a call? And he said, like you guys, I can do better than that. Let me see if I can stop by, while he's touring around the Northeast U.S. And he went to their house one Sunday and spent 6 hours with them. And up until that time, recently, she hadn't gotten out of bed. She hadn't sang in weeks, maybe months. She was eating very poorly. And through Adam being there, she ended up coming down the stairs. Initially he was up in the bedroom and playing for her, and she came down the stairs. I think they carried her down. Her husband and some friends carried her down, and they spent, like you said, there's 6 hours playing, laughing, singing together, eating, and just the humanity of it all.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how important music is. I mean, you go outside and you're doing gardening and you hear the birds singing, and that's music.
Yes. Nature.
That's a
nature
good point.
provides
That's a really good point. Yeah.
some of the most beautiful music we have on this earth.
Do you know, I used to play music in colleges, and when I did colleges, I was the singer-songwriter with the guitar. I wasn't doing accordion in college. But I used to drive from school to school to do this when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And in addition to musicians, they also had other entertainers on stage quite often. And I was on the side of the stage one time during a magic show, and I could see how the tricks were done sometimes, most of the time. From when you're not in the audience, you can see the girl climbing out of the box,
Exactly.
you can see how it's done. And I said to myself, that magician knows how it's done, and therefore he's not as amazed by that magic as the audience is. But a musician, we really don't know. We really don't know why an A minor going to A diminished has that feeling. We don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Nobody can truly explain it, right?
But we do it, and the audience thinks, gosh, how did they do that? How did he make me feel that way? Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know. We feel that way too. Every time I hear Elton John singing your song, I think, oh gosh, he's got to get a chill up his spine again.
It's something that, because we have that experience, we want to share it with others, have them experience the same thing, whether they're listening or playing along.
I love this conversation, and I knew I would. Thank you for what you have done, Vincent, you and your wife, by making this book a published piece of work. It is more than I thought it would be. It is better than I thought it would be. Thank you for sharing the PDF with us, by the way.
You're welcome. And I'd love to send you guys both a physical copy, so I'll hang on afterwards to get the address.
Okay, that's awesome.
And you are also requesting submissions for 88 Plus Ways Volume 2?
We're looking for, that's right, stories for Volume 2, also for a special marching band edition and a special armed forces edition. Both organizations, so to speak, that people that are a part of that really connect with music as well and their experiences.
Well, Robin's brother fits the bill right there for that one. He knows the marching band stuff, and he's a good writer too. So.
And Armed Forces Edition, that's amazing.
Vincent James, do you have a website? Oh yeah, keepmusicalive.org. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the best place to find us there. And from there, you can also link to teachmusic.america.org, where we encourage any musicians and music teachers this week to offer a free lesson to someone who's interested in learning.
Okay, thank you.
And that's really, really awesome to do that. People are just so enthralled with music, and it's wonderful when people are out there and doing it.
Thank you, Vincent, for being on the air. 88 Plus Ways Music Can Change Your Life. I went to the website, and there's also something called Spirit of Harmony Foundation. Go to keepmusicalive.org and find out more. Vincent James, what a great interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Larry and Robin. You guys have a wonderful day down there.
Thank you. We'll be... hold on. Robin's going to talk to you off the air.
President Obama will have a sit-down with Cuban President Raul Castro today. They'll discuss mutual interest and goals, but there's been a long contentious history between the two nations.
Make no mistake about it, that will be not only part of the conversation between the respective governments, it will certainly be a part of the president's comments as he addresses the Cuban people on Tuesday. A speech that we're told will not only address them, but also the concerns of the Cuban-American community as well.
Fox's Kevin Cork in Havana. The first day of spring. Not so fast for folks in New England thanks to a blustery storm. Parts of Massachusetts could get up to 10 inches of snow.
Well, it is strong and accumulating once again on the roadway, so you really, really want to be careful on this first full day of spring. That certainly doesn't feel like it.
Michael Henrik of Fox affiliate WFXT Boston and Plymouth. Public schools there and in much of the state are closed today. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa know-how. Spend $24 right now at Napa, and you can get a free Napa Chase Elliott racing cap. Buy $24 of oil, get a free cap. Buy $24 of headlamps, get a free cap. Buy $24 worth of Pine Tree scented air fresheners. Well, we won't ask you why you need $24 worth of air fresheners. We'll just hand you a free Napa Chase Elliott racing cap. That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 3/31/16.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the park.